Hello class 9. How are you all? Hope you all are fit and fine. Students, in my previous video I have explained you chapter number 1, Introduction to Object Oriented Programming Concepts. Unit 1 we are doing. Now we will continue that unit. Today I will explain you the Object Oriented Programming Concepts and the principles of object oriented programming, the features of object oriented programming. Now, first, object oriented programming. What is object oriented programming? In short form, we call it OOP. OOP stands for object oriented programming. Procedural programming is about writing procedures or functions that perform operations on the data, while object-oriented programming is about creating objects that contain both data and functions. It means when we are creating an object, that object related both the data and the function. Data, the information which we are giving to the computer, and the function, the processing which we are doing on the systems. Now, features of OOP language. First feature, OOP Object-Oriented Programming System, that is known as OOPS, is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects that contain data and methods. Number 2, the primary purpose of object-oriented programming is to increase the flexibility and maintainability of programs. It means when we are creating an object, that time this type of programming increasing the flexibility. Flexibility means we can use that data function in our functions, and we can use this data in the maintaining the programs also, the execution of the program also. So this is the primary purpose of object oriented programming. Now, number 3, object-oriented programming brings together data and its behavior. Behavior means methods. Method related to the functions in a single location, that is known as objects. Makes it easier to understand how a program works. We will cover each and every feature of OOPS in detail so that you won't face any difficulty understanding OOPS concept. Now, what is the OOPS concept? There are 6 OOPS concept, that is class, object, polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and data abstractions. These are the concepts of OOPS language. Now, keywords related to object-oriented programming. First keyword is object. What is object? Object, it is a unique entity which contains data and function. Data and function means characters, and function means characters and behavior together in an object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming systems is designed based on the concept of object. So we can say that object is a thing whose behavior and characteristics are same, and they are related to the objects, means related to the things which we have seen in our daily lives. Now, second, real world object. What is real world object? The object that we experience or use in our day-to-day life, that is known as the real world object. Each real world object contains characteristics and behavior. Real world object means the object like a table we are using, chairs, any things when we are which we are using day to day in our life, that is known as the real world object. Now, second is software object. What is the software object? A software object may be defined as an object that is created while writing a Java program. When we are writing Java program, that time which type of object we are creating, that is known as the software object. Now next is class. By the name of class, you can say that class is the combination of the student, because all students make a class. When more than two children are sitting in a room, that is known as the class. So the object of the class is students, and the students make a class. Now class represents a real world entity which acts as a blueprint for all the objects. We can create as many objects as we need using class. Thus, a class is also referred to as a blueprint or prototype of an object. I told you that object is the students are the object, and that students together make a class, that is known as the class. The example of class is students, and the example of object is chair, table, blackboard, anything which we are using to do our work, that is known as the object. Now, four basic principles of I will explain you 5 basic principles of OOP. There are 4 major principles that make a language object oriented. These are encapsulation, data abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. These are also called as 4 pillars of object oriented programming. These 4 principles makes object oriented programming easier to understand. First is encapsulation. Encapsulation is the mechanism of hiding of data implementation by restricting access to public methods. Instance variables are kept private and accessory methods are made public to achieve this. Encapsulation, in short form, we can say that encapsulation, in short form, we can say that the system of wrapping data and functions into a single unit. The system of wrapping means when we are wrap data and function in a unit, that is known as the encapsulation. That is known as the encapsulation, because that single unit, like this is the example of this is example of this is we are doing a work and we have make a program. Here we have using some instruction to make this, and we are using that some addition functions to make this program, so that that data and function make a single unit. When they are wrapping into a single unit, that is known as the encapsulation. Now next is abstraction. Abstract means a concept or an idea which is not associated with any particular instance. It is an idea. Using abstract class interface, we express the intent of class rather than the actual implementation. In a way, one class should not know the inner details of another class to use it. Just knowing the interface should be good enough. Abstraction means there is no need to know the background details of that objects. They can use abstract means they can use only ideas of that. That is known as the abstraction. Now next is inheritance. Inheritance expresses is a and of has a relationship between two objects. Using inheritance in derived classes, we can reuse the code of existing superclasses. In Java, concept of is based on class inheritance. The example of this is animal, human beings, because animals and human beings are acquire the properties for their parents, so they acquire the properties of their parents. So this is the example of inheritance. Parents are Now, benefits of object oriented programming. The reusability of the program code is enhanced. Means it can use the code again and again, reusable. We can use that code again and again for our programs. The software quality and performance are improved. Yes, object oriented programming benefits is they improve the software quality and performance. Modularity is achieved. Data abstraction makes the software easier to handle. Software for complex tasks can easily be developed. These are the benefits of object-oriented programming. Now, we will do the filling the blanks, which are given in this chapter's exercise. The fill in the blanks first is an act of using essential features without including the background details is called. That is data abstraction. In an object-oriented programming, the importance is given to data. When in object-oriented programming, the main things is data. Wrapping of data and function together as a single unit is called encapsulation. And this is a unique entity. An object has a unique entity which contains some characteristics and behavior. For number 5, the objects may communicate with each other through behavior. In POP means procedure object or programming, the global data are loosely attached to the data. The process by which a class acquires the properties from another class is known as inheritance. In object-oriented programming, using a function for many purposes is termed as polymorphism. Now, true and false. In assembly level language, the instructions are given in terms of zeros and ones. No, in machine language, we will give the instruction in zeros and ones terms. So, this is false. Pascal is a structure-oriented programming language. Yes, this is true. Pascal is a structure programming language. Machine level language requires a translator to convert input instruction to be understood by the machine. No, this is false because assembly level language and high level language requires a translator. Compilers and interpreter are referred as an language processor. No, this is the translator. So, this is also false. A process according to which a class acquires the characteristics from another class is called encapsulation. This is also false. Procedure-oriented program stresses on data. This is true because procedure-oriented program working on the data. C++ is also an object-oriented programming language. Yes, this is an object-oriented programming language. An object is identified by its characteristics. This is also true. Function is a set of objects that share the common state and behavior. This is false because function is not. A class is a set of objects that share the common state and behavior. Encapsulation keeps data safe from outside interferences. This is also false. Now, name the following. First is two categories of low-level language, that is machine language and assembly language. Now, two procedure-oriented languages is BASIC and Fortran. Then, third, two structure-oriented programming languages are ALGOL and Pascal. Two examples of data abstraction in our daily life, I told you, camera and car. Two examples of real-world object, that is real-world object example is sun, moon, table, chair. Many examples are there. Two basic principles of object-oriented programming, that is inheritance, data abstraction, polymorphism is also, and encapsulation is also. Now, we have completed Unit 1 Hope you all understood this. In my next video, I will continue Unit 2. Student, if you have any problem, you can ask me through mail. Complete your work on time and submit your work on time, because some of the students are not doing their work on time and they are not submitting. Please submit your work on time, because this work will give you the marks when, and these assignment is also calculated in previous class assignment are also related to your marks. So this is my advice. You will see complete video, you will read the chapter from your book. That time you will understand the chapter, then you will complete your home assignment which we are giving. Thank you.